Welcome to Tying Michigan's Best Trout Flies. Today we're going to be doing the Peacock and Partridge soft hackle wet fly, one that can lend itself to any number of different hatches. So let's get started. So to do our Peacock and Partridge, for demo purposes, I'm using a size 10 wet fly hook, and I've already attached a bead, and I've secured the bead with some wraps of thread up here in front of it. Now, if you want extra weight, you won't need these thread wraps in here to keep the bead in place. You can put a few wraps of lead wire in there and shove it back into that little slot. That'll anchor the bead and it'll give you a little bit extra weight. Well, I'm not using extra weight, so I've got my bead in place and I've anchored it with some thread wraps up here so it doesn't slide off. And now I'm going to attach the body. The body is simply some peacock herl, and I've taken a bundle off. A nice little clump like this, and we're going to attach it just behind the bead here like this. Just a few overhand wraps to the back. Now we're also at this point in time going to demonstrate how you can tie a securely reinforced peacock body. Peacock is a tremendous trout catcher, but it's very fragile. It needs to be reinforced. There's a number of ways you can do it. You can wrap it on and just wrap the thread over it if you want. That's the easiest way to do it. But I make a little loop and I kind of weave the peacock in and out, and it ends up making it just like a chenille. It's very secure. Let me show you how I do that. Take enough thread down to make a loop about like this. And then secure your loop with a few wraps of thread towards the back. You can bring your tying thread up near the bead now, and we're going to take that clump of peacock and begin to wrap it back and forth through this thread like this, and that's going to create like almost like making a chenille. It takes a little bit of time, but if you want a very well reinforced peacock body that won't come undone by numerous trout teeth, this is the way to go. So once you do that, maybe 12 or 15 times, you've got enough to make your body. You simply grab a hold of it and come back and wrap the peacock body on like this, all the way up to just behind your bead, and then secure it with a couple wraps of thread there. Now we're going to put on our partridge hackle. I've picked one. It's going to depend on the size of the hook, the size of this partridge hackle that you use. But when I attach it, I always make sure I attach it from the front here, like this. You can pull it back, maybe just trim a little bit of that off. Secure your partridge here. And it doesn't take a lot on these flies. You can smooth that down, and then when you wrap the partridge, remember this is fragile, so be careful where you wrap it. You want to smooth the wraps to the back so your partridge, the hackle flows toward the rear, like that. Maybe one more wrap. And then we'll tie it off right here with a couple of wraps. And we can reach in and trim the excess and smooth this to the rear again. And tie this down and whip finish. And there's your finished peacock and partridge. Now I've tied this peacock gives it, obviously it's a dark colored fly. And this is a size 10. This fly, just as it is, can be used in a variety of hatches as an emerger, a nymph even. It's an excellent, excellent fish catcher. In this size, you would use it maybe in an Isonychia hatch. Sizes 10 and 12, you can use the same fly in the Hendrickson hatch. Down to size 16 and even 18, you can use in black caddis hatches, in the little mahogany hatches that we get in the spring. So this thing has a wide variety of uses. Peacock and partridge. This is a real fish taker. Tie some up and you'll find out what I'm talking about. We'll see you the next time.